He's Grant Ramey. I'm Rob Lewis. This is the Exterior Home Solutions on Volquest.com live from Memorial Gymnasium. And Grant, some Memorial magic, I guess some Memorial malaise if you're Tennessee there in the second half. I mean, just not – I mean, I want to give Vandy all the credit because I think they played well. But, right. I mean, there's nothing – Tennessee didn't do anything great today.
They did not. And, I know there was a 16-point comeback in the second half that almost frantically got erased in the final minute, and we can discuss that. But the game comes down to Zakai Ziegler found a three-point shooter with 7 minutes left in the first half to pick up his second foul. And then Jemai Mashak, after Zakai sat for the next 7 minutes, fouling a three-point shooter with 2.5 seconds left on a made three, 4-point play to turn into a 6-point game. Like that was the sequence, it felt like to me, just start to finish, that changed the game that Tennessee never – they recovered, but they couldn't recover enough from it.
I mean, those are just things you don't do on the road. I
mean, those are two seniors that have played more basketball than anyone on your roster.
And made more game-winning plays than anybody in your roster.
And it's not the first time fouling a three-point shooter has been an issue this season. It's got to get fixed.
It has to. And again, I don't want to put this all on Jemai at all. I mean, because, again, the guy's made how many winning plays he's made. But for that guy who's so heady, one of the smartest dudes on your team to do that, I mean, Tennessee had clawed back. I mean, Rick was about to get away with having sat Zakai for 7 minutes, sat Felix for 6 minutes, and Tennessee was going into half down 2 with all that. And then 4-point play, boom, there for a minute. It really felt to me like Igor hits that three. Tennessee immediately gets it down to 1, starts the second half, and then bang, bang. They hit 4 threes in a row.
In a row. I think they started 5 for 6. It was just too much one-way traffic.
I mean, it was 41-40, and then out of nowhere, it's 53-40, and Tennessee's scrambling.
Right. And it got to, 16 with 10 and a half
68-52.
Like and Zakai struggled with turnovers. Chaz struggled with turnovers. I think they had 8 of the 11.
Between them,
between those two. It's tough to win on the road, but Tennessee just too many mistakes from a senior, a veteran team that you would not expect in this kind of setting.
And you're going to look at the box score, 11 turnovers. It doesn't look that bad, but it was a lot of – they were just taking them away.
I mean, there was one – when they happened.
I mean, a freshman just took the ball away from Zakai right at midcourt.
That was to go up 16.
That was the one.
The second half.
That's when I knew the game was over. I mean, it turns out the game wasn't over, but to me, I kind of wrote, like, the game's over. Right there. And then frantically, they come back. They rattle off. They're down, 70-60? They somehow get it down to 2 with the ball. Chaz is at the line. Chance to tie it, send it to overtime. I would have, at that point in time, it just felt like Tennessee had gotten luckier than they had any right to, and they were going to overtime.
Well, at first it was down 2 with 11 seconds left, and Chaz had a pretty good drive to the rim, and it was a good defensive play. The guy blocked the shot.
Good clear out, good play.
And then for whatever reason, Vandy misses a free throw, and they foul Chaz with 2.8 left, down 2, which is still
80 feet from the basket.
Right. Like, I guess you had to think you were down 3 in that moment.
He could not have known the score.
The first one I thought looked fine. He was smooth on it. The second one just left a little bit short. And it would have been, if Tennessee got it to overtime, maybe that would have been something. And it would have been really cool to see Chaz do that as a Nashville kid coming back here and shooting it a little bit better than he had in the past, but still just too many struggles up and down.
Yeah, you can't say he played great because of the turnovers that you're talking about. And it started early, but I mean, he found his stroke a little bit after really struggling. He's 4-6 for today, 17 points. I mean, scoring wasn't Tennessee's problem. They just could not string together stops in that second half.
And when you get 2 fouls on Cade Phillips as soon as he checks in the game, and then 2 fouls on Felix Akpara not long after Cade had to, like Felix, it looked like he was trying to play defense with his hands behind his back because he's trying to avoid that third foul. And then he picks up the third foul 30 feet away from the bucket in the second half.
With a hip check.
The foul troubles, it's got to be fixed. The fouling three-pointers got to be fixed. Like, they're too thin, this roster. They don't have enough bodies to have guys with 2 fouls, sitting with 2 fouls for extended periods of time and letting games get away from them.
And that's why, I mean, and that's why, God, it felt like they had just cheated and got away with it in the first half, and then they just lost the thread. Anyway, just again, I don't want to take anything away from Vandy because I think they had this one circled. I think they were loaded for bear. I think they played great.
Got some shooters.
They do have some shooters. And Tennessee, you told me Tennessee was going to go 10 for 21 from 3 and lose.
But you look at the paint points, you look at the
Vandy out-rebounded.
Out-rebounded, second chance points.
Vandy is not a strong rebounder.
All that stuff outside of field goal percentage and three-point percentage, they won basically every one of those.
A disappointing day for Tennessee. Again, don't take anything away from Vandy because I think they deserved it.
And it feels like one of those losses where it's going to hurt for a while or you're going to rebound in a pretty big way. Like, you go home to Mississippi State Tuesday night, and then you go to Auburn Saturday night.
Hey, Mississippi State could beat you at home.
Mississippi State's a good basketball team. Chris John, I mean, we've seen what Chris John.
They will be tough. They will be tough at home. I mean, you can't let this one linger, and that's going to be the story of the SEC. You can't let one linger. You better not have a hangover. Anyway, tough one. Tennessee's going to feel bad about this one. Clearly, not their best effort, but life on the road in the SEC is not easy. He's Grant Ramey. I'm Rob Lewis. This has been the Exterior Home Solutions Fast Break.